Yo, what it do? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Real from the Regular Podcast. It is your boy, Sir. I am joined in today with my sister.
Yo, good people. It's your girl, Brittany LaCara.
And tonight we have a very special guest who is also family. Go ahead and do yourself, bro.
I'm only very special because the owner don't like me.
B.
Dolan, what going on? I'm in here representing. Red hoodie on.
We appreciate the support.
You know what I'm saying? He don't, but I did.
We appreciate all the support, man.
You can get your own little hoodie too for the small little price of $30.
Hey.
He made me pay all of $30.
Hey, there you go. Plugged in though.
With all that being said, let's give a shout out to our big host who could not be here with us tonight, Big Nolo.
Don. Hey man, we gonna hold it down for you tonight, bro. You know what it is, man. What's up, man?
So who's going to see Ghostbusters?
No, dead. Hell
no, what?
No.
Like, see, this is what we said before. They need to leave these movies alone.
The one before that,
like, wasn't the original version like in the 80s?
Yeah.
I think the first one was like in the 80s. I think they did one more after that was like kind of animated or something or whatever. So, they need to leave it alone.
Yeah, they
but
don't need to redo it.
I tell you what I am
more.
Here for, though.
What's that?
That King Richard.
Chucky.
Oh, yeah.
No,
no.
That's another one that they need to leave alone. Leave Chucky alone.
I'm not a fan of these movies being brought back either. And I'm an old school movie person.
Yeah. Let me tell y'all about this dude. He will sit and watch all the old movies, know all the words, know all the lines, everything.
Yeah, so if y'all ever need to know a line to a movie, man, your best bet is to hit up B.
You know, movie trivia. He on my team. Let me get B.
Yeah,
let me get B.
Yeah, he know it.
All of them.
But King Richard is coming out on Friday. And,
shout out to Will Smith.
I am here for it. All the way. I'm a huge Will Smith fan, and I think this movie is going to be phenomenal, and I'm hoping he finally wins that Oscar.
So, story behind that. Since I've read his book, shout out to Will again for the book. The book is a beautiful piece, man. I fell more in love with the man because I just got to see that raw, honest side of him.
Human side.
Yeah, man. You know, he's everybody see him on the outside and just he's perfect. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that book just really had me like, wow.
A couple of people I heard, it brought tears to their eyes. Like, there was times where it was just like, okay, wait. Am I?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I was in the bed like Saturday morning at 8:30 crying. I was texting James and was like, bruh, this man really got me. Because I think I was on his YouTube channel watching The Best Shape of My Life. And it was an episode. He was reading a chapter to his kids. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, dang, man. So it's shout out to Will, man. But it's funny because they did that Will challenge when he had that he had picked on the weight, picked up
the COVID weight,
that COVID weight, and it started with this movie. Mm-hmm. He had to put on weight for King Richard, and he said then COVID hit and the weight only went up. Yeah. So that's kind of sort of where like The Best Shape of My Life took for him at.
Because I watched his other series, Will at Home. Which was his COVID series when he did it at home. He had a couple of guests.
I ain't see none of that.
Well,
because you don't be on YouTube, man.
Yeah, bro. I be tuned in on YouTube.
But I did see the presentation of his book. Charlemagne the God was opening it up. I don't know. I was just strolling or whatever the case may be, and it was really, really dope. It was a big box, and then he ended up having like WIL on each side of the box. He lifted that up, and then it was like a more decorative box. Wow! And then she had to like put a key in and turn it, which dropped the panels, like 3 panels of that box, and each panel had like a quote of wheels. Like was like one was in gold or something else was kind of like, decorative or whatever the case may be. And I remember he had to take a V of one of the letters, I think from love, and stick it somewhere else to get.
Oh, this is a whole thing.
I'm trying to tell you.
A whole structure.
That one open, just to get to the book. And like even Charlemagne the God was like, that was very, very impressive. The presentations, like, y'all got to step y'all game up.
Yeah, man. Y'all can't just be out here just putting out regular old books.
Check that out.
That is very dope. And you listen to this on audio, right?
Yeah, man. And it's weird because I'm getting into that now because of my kind of work. So I'm able to just kind of pop in the earbud and just move about. I can't sit and listen and read a book. I have to listen. And I mean, to me, it's like no different than listening to a song. Like, and then I'm into murder podcasts too. So shout out to Sword and Scale too. I be into all that kind of stuff.
I think I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try this audiobook thing. At this last job that I was at, I would listen to DJ Vlad Vlad TV. And I wasn't watching because they were really interviews, so I was able to just listen to them. So that's really when I kind of was like, okay, this audio thing might not be so bad depending on what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So
I just saw Vlad for the first time, bro. Like I
had to go look him up because he's always behind the camera. You always see the person he's interviewing. So I was like, oh, this is what he looks like.
It was weird seeing him. I was like, bro, you don't look like how you sound. Honestly, I just
no. But yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Still a mystery.
You haven't seen him before?
No.
You know who we're talking about?
No.
Okay.
Hey, since No Load of Dawn is out today, man, I am going to be doing your strand of the week. Strand of the week this week is Slurricane Runts. I keep saying runts. I think it's just Slurricane. But Slurricane, it is an indica strand. Slurricane is an indica marijuana strand made by crossing do-si-dos with purple punch. Slurricane produces relaxing effects that come on slowly. This strand has a sweet flavor profile with subtle grape and sugary berries. Slurricane is the ideal strand for relaxing after a long day and will likely leave you locked to your sofa. Medical marijuana patients choose this strand to help relieve symptoms associated with insomnia. Again, Slurricane. It is 21% THC. And if y'all can see this picture, but it's
21%. What?
Fire.
I'm still just trying to figure out how medical patients get to choose their strand.
They gotta know what they're smoking, so you know what they insomnia or chronic pains. You just can't be out here smoking anything.
I like to be able to have flavors and options. I definitely like when Miss Kelly for that option, going to the dispensaries.
Oh yeah,
just being able to okay, never had that one.
So can you really tell the difference in different strands when smoking? Like, I mean, is it a taste thing? Is it a level of high thing? Is it
all of it?
All of it is different.
All of it.
Oh, okay.
It's like fine wine.
All of it. Yeah. When done right, it all has its own flavor, its own smell. Like you can just be like
feeling right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
interesting.
I should have went to school for this though, for real. Nonetheless, man, let's talk about them damn Falcons.
Yeah, that's what y'all getting, man. Dirty Bird, y'all suck, man.
If you was tuned in, if you wasn't, we took that loss to Dallas, 3-43.
We took that spanking.
43.
That was beyond the L. That was just a whole ass spanking. Just get your
Mojo
ass up out of here.
Like we don't know what happened.
Interceptions.
He just didn't show up to play.
Interceptions. Just that no defense.
Dallas was up by 36-3 by halftime, but I knew I wasn't watching this.
The whole damn game.
Didn't give a damn about nothing else.
But I'm still a home team fan.
Got to do better.
I'm still I'm still ride or die.
And that's one thing about the Falcons, what I'm saying? New stadium, still got money going into a team, left and right, but hang on. Diehard fans, hang on.
And then
just like the
Dan
Falcons,
Quinn is the
sorry.
Piss me off, bro. That should
Dan
not.
Quinn was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show y'all what y'all did by firing me."
He was the head coach at one point.
Yes,
of the Falcons, and now he was the defensive coordinator for Dallas. The whole fucking playbook, bro. Like the hell, he shouldn't be, man. Bro, that was some.
Oh, let me tell you what they about to do.
Right,
this is what you need to do right here.
Read us like a book because he had the book.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that shit was bogus, bro. That shit was bogus.
That's what he's supposed to do. He about to get a night check over there now.
You know what happened? Dan Quinn had effective communication.
About that.
That's how I'm gonna roll into today's topic. Today's topic is effective communication, and shout out to Dan Quinn for that shit. Okay, yeah, but on the serious note, man, effective communication.
Are you an effective communicator? Do you feel like you're an effective communicator? B, sir, what you think?
No. I mean, there's always room for improvement for me.
Okay, true. But yes, I am.
I agree with you. You are very like in your face, like
And sometimes you got to be like that, bro. I ain't gonna say sometimes you got to be like that.
I think with growth, with age, with experience now, opportunities, I'm a little bit more keen and speaking my mind on a whole lot of levels, especially when it ain't supposed to be a relationship. So that makes a difference to me.
So you talking about like in opposite sex friendships?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at in the stage of my life right about now. A lot of opposite sex friendships.
Okay. Female friendships.
But if you got effective communication, then everybody understand what's going on.
Period.
But I mean, I think, okay, so the thing here is naturally there's different levels of communication, right? So, people communicate in body language, people communicate in words, they communicate via text, it's about tone. All of that matters. It goes back to that saying of it's not what you say, but how you say it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could say something to you and you be like, damn, why you say that like that? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I was just, so, but part of effective communication too is what I feel like a lot of people do is you listen to defend.
True.
So you already going into the conversation with like, this motherfucker, she about to say some shit to me that I already know.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And when they say it, this is what I'm going to say. So you going on here with a whole planned conversation.
On the defense.
On the defense. So
listen.
Anything that comes out of this person's mouth, you just waiting for that right comment, that right word to jump down their throat.
Right.
No matter what was said.
Correct. So I'm sure you've had experiences like that before.
Yes.
Give us one.
Honestly, so I'm sorry. For me, like, I just get it a lot, especially at work. You know what I mean? People who don't really understand my communication. It's direct. And so a lot of people might be like, damn, that was offensive. But I mean, I didn't mean it that way. And you got to let me know if I offended you, because coming from me, I wasn't trying to be offensive, or I wasn't trying to rub you wrong. I was just trying to say what I had to say and just keep it moving.
So do you feel like that is an example of how you say it, or do you feel like these are people that are soft and just take it as though I'm an asshole because I'm direct?
Okay, so it's how I say it, but again, how I say it is direct. It's not rude, but it's rude to you because that ain't how you not used to having shit said directly to you like that.
Can you give me an example?
So it's just like if I'm at work, for instance, if I'm headed in one direction to go do something and you're headed in another direction, like, and you be like, hey, come here or you try to stop, like you try to get me to stop and talk. Nah, man, I'm going this way. Like, come on, if you want to talk to me, let's go this way. Mm-hmm. To me, I'm like, I'm not trying to be rude, but I got bad memory. So like if I'm going this way, I'm going this way with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? To go do something. Correct. So if you like, hey man, real quick, and if I know you just trying to shoot the shit, then I really don't. I'm just, hey, I'm going this way. But if you want to talk, I'm going this way. Come on, we can walk and talk, but we going this way. And some people might be like, well, damn. I'm like, well, okay, well, stay right there, and I'll be right back then. Like,
yeah, to me, I think that's just
let me say it that
I
way
feel
better.
Like that comes across with people who are kind of spoiled and getting what they want.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm not saying we can't talk. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, look, right now, this is what's going on, or.
That was me being effective. Like I said, I mean, I was just direct, and you took it. I don't know how you could have took it as offensive, because you tried to get me to stop. I mean, I was walking this way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you was going to completely, and you was like, hey, well, come on. No, just.
It's funny. I've kind of been in a few situations like that at the job or whatever. And I think I'm just more so in the natural habit of just, with my communication, is just more so like a, hey, I'm actually, I'm on a mission. Give me about 2 seconds. I'll be right back with you. You know what I'm saying? Or I got to go do something. I'm actually about to go. You ain't got to necessarily tell them what you're doing.
Yeah, right.
Be, but, even for, to remind myself, goddamn it, sometimes, hey, I'm about to go do this real quick. Yeah, yes. Fill that out real quick and come right back. Give me 2 seconds. I'll come right back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just, hey, it's on my mind. I'm about to go do that real quick or whatever, because, you get pulled left and right. So,
yeah.
So here's an example for me as far as work is concerned and effective communication. So I was just terminated from my job this past Friday. But so it's bittersweet, and I say bittersweet because I like the people that established relationship with. It started becoming like high school. Like, I'm only here to socialize. I don't even want to do no work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to work. I just want to socialize. But so I was hired as an accounts payable manager, and I was supposed to be working with this girl. Now, the first problem in the lack of communication in that situation is they never told the girl that I was her manager. Okay, so to her, I'm just an equal to her.
They never told you either.
No, they told me. Okay. But the problem is we held the same title. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. We were both accounts payable managers according to ADP, which is our payroll system. And in the system, we were even in our signatures in our email. So they say, well, at this point, and this is right at my 90-day mark, we're deciding
they knew what they was doing.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
Okay.
But days. We're going to let you go because we feel like, this person isn't coming to you like she should as the accounts payable manager, and you're not moving the department forward like we expected you to. Nobody said a word to me in 90 days. Not one word. You hear me? So not the controller, not the accounting manager, not the CFO who was there the previous week. Nobody said a word to me.
The whole 90 days.
The whole 90 days. No evaluation 30 days in. No 45 days in. Like, what? I thought we was doing this. Right. Nobody said a word. And then to add insult to injury, again, this girl didn't even know I was her manager. Right. So why would she come to me about anything because she feels like I'm her equal? So when all this happened Friday morning, I was good. There's a policy, of course, when you terminate, you can't go back to your desk. So HR went and got all my stuff and everything. And so, of course, people on the team were calling me. So when this particular person called me, I said, did you know I was your manager? She was like, no, I didn't think you did, because we never collectively had a conversation. You bring me in as a new person. So at some point in time, it's your job as the controller who hired me to convey to her what my role is.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So when she asked me, I was like, I'm just here to work with you, because I didn't want to step on anybody's toes. Right. I didn't want to create a situation. But then when I talked to her on Friday, she said, well, when I asked them what you were here to do, they said the same thing as me.
Wow.
Talk about the lack of effective communication. The communication period
wasn't even there at all.
When my whole 90 days, I never once had a conversation with my controller.
Wow.
So I'm just like,
which does make it seem like it's intentional. Like,
exactly.
You came down with me like with a warning here, being that you were within the 90 days. Hey, this is what you're doing wrong. This is the policy. This is whatever.
None of it.
There was no communication.
The first communication was to fire you. That's kind of fucked up.
First and only.
It is. It really is. And so a couple of people said to me, they was just like, why didn't you say anything? And I was like, if that 90-day conversation had been a coaching,
that would have been different.
Then it would have been different. But you had already made up your mind. HR came to me with separation notices.
Already typed
they were emptying a box to give me my stuff.
Right. With no conversation to be had.
Like, so there was nothing. I'm not about to kiss your ass. That's what I'm not getting ready to do. And
I mean, your paper box either, motherfucker.
Thank you. I'm not walking about here with no box. Girl, put my stuff in my bag, please. But yeah, it was crazy. But like I said bittersweet because I hated the job.
Yeah.
I hated the job because of the lack of communication on their part. They would say like subliminal stuff like, everybody needs to go in here and put down what they're responsible for. They would say that on our meeting, but you would never directly say anything to me because I would purposely not put any notes in there to see if anybody would say anything to me. Not a word. They would just get in these meetings and say, don't forget to put your notes in here. And I think sometimes in employment, it's important to directly address people. You can't always do collective emails because that person who's your offender is always the one when they ain't talking about me.
They ain't talking about me.
They ain't talking about me.
We have to tell folks, you got to put a name on it sometimes, man. Oh, well, I don't want to feel like I'm singling them out.
To be a little bit more direct.
Correct. And so in my managerial experience, like I was always very communicative about whatever I was having an issue with an employee. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what's going on. I'm just letting you know this is where we are. And this is what needs to be done.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time I get to the point of terminating you, you understand that we've had several conversations and you're not following through with what your responsibilities are.
You ain't blindsided by this termination.
Correct.
This,
but the sad part, I knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I told them on Tuesday, I'm getting ready to get fired. I just felt it in my spirit, and then I thought it was going to happen the following week, but it ended up happening that Friday. So that was just crazy.
I got a little story on effective communication at my job, nonetheless. So I'm dealing with the the millennials or
next
generation.
I mean, no, bro,
generational.
I think there's levels to that
Youth.
millennial stuff because we're technically millennials.
We're technically millennials, so there's
We're
levels to
old
the
school
millennials.
Let's call them the new school millennials.
The new school motherfuckers. Man, like, be quiet. Stop talking. Like, just do work. Shut up. Nonetheless, so I'm in a managerial position. And the way I kind of operate, I'm like, I don't necessarily always want to hop on you when I see things that you're doing wrong or, or whatever the case may be. I like to, hey, let me make sure I'm seeing, make sure that wasn't a mistake, see it happen again or whatever the case may be. So I can be like, hey, remember, seen on this day, whatever the case may be. So the situation is I got a millennial.
A new school millennial.
Right. And he talks a lot. Like he stops at this one person desk, and I can't blame her because she's where she needs to be.
Facts.
It's you that's talking all the time.
Now, is she able to multitask? Can she listen and work?
Yes, and she does.
Okay,
and I see that.
All right.
And it's him because every time he be looking around and he'll see me, but he'll like he's like.
That's when you know you're doing wrong.
Exactly. Right. But he's like trying to let this man know cockroach. He's the brave cockroach because normally when you see your bosses come around, hey, put your phone up. You go back where you supposed to be.
Right.
These niggas ain't going back where they supposed to be. And I'm just like, bro, like you getting bold.
They bucking, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, it's sad to say since day one, now that I can think about it, maybe not day one, but since I can recall, like I've seen the manager go through and he'll maybe take that footstep and be like, maybe
oh, he ain't even noticed me.
Right. Or maybe I ain't got to. She about to go straight to her office. Never really say nothing. But, of course, she wouldn't say nothing to him directly or whatever. But
she going to the office to call you and tell you about him.
That's the way they would do it. But even to the point where it really started to bothering me to the point where, okay, I am for being able to work and talk. You know what I'm saying? But even still, to the point, we're in the lab. We're dealing with a lot of detailed type of material that we're doing for my job. So it requires a certain amount of focus.
Attention, right. Attention to detail.
That's what I was looking for. Attention to detail. And you can't get that when you're talking.
Facts.
Counting. You can't count to 100 if you're having a full-blown conversation about
that,
your boyfriend.
That I agree with.
Period.
You skilled if you can do that.
Right.
You can't.
And be accurate.
You know what I'm saying? And be accurate or whatever the case may be and not miss the small things. So not just that overall. It was just more so like I had to check myself on my effective communication because, I would have somebody else that might come in and say something else to me about it. And again, I'm not trying to shut down the fact that they can talk and communicate or whatever the case may be, but it was just what happened on the Monday before. I mentioned in our Monday meeting that it doesn't need to be as frequent. It shouldn't be very as frequent and as often, right, as it's been. It needs to be dialed back. And it's kind of like that thin line, right? But if you don't know where to draw that thin line, just don't talk at all. That's what I said. It's funny because I had HR right there and she kind of laughed at it too.
Right.
If you having a hard time finding where that thin line is, come holler at me.
Don't do it at all. All right.
And he was in that meeting. And I was kind of like,
wait on him. You're
going to have to be like, look, Derek, I'm talking,
And that's what made me think of my situation to the point where I was like, okay, well, that's
because you addressed the group and not him directly.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
I kind of addressed the group, but
the offender is you got to call the offender out.
It's you. It's you. Right. But then I was like, okay, I said it in the meeting, this and that. Somebody else keep always, when they come into my office, I always crack a joke about it or whatever. I still come in early in the morning, still see him when the girl gets to the desk. His first stop, hey, I'm like, okay, cool. I send him a chat. Send him an instant team messenger, whatever the case may be. Hey, man, you are at this lady's desk too often, too frequent now, and it's starting to be a everyday thing. If you need help finding the line, like I had mentioned in the meeting, come holler at me.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, I'm the door. Oh shit! I really wasn't expecting it that quick, but I was like, okay, cool, come on in, this and that. Yes, I was just wondering if you had a problem with me or anything of this nature. Because since we've been labeled like the busy bee, the social bees, which I kind of called them social bees because y'all fucking talk all the goddamn time. So I gave 3 or 4 of them like that title, social bees or whatever. And then he gets there, the first person there in the morning. So we kind of open up at 7 or whatever the case may be. It takes a 30-minute lunch so he can get back through traffic. So he leaves at 3:30. He's normally be there at 7 o'clock. I just happened to be there a little earlier that day, passing through at 7:12, and he was still in his truck. Go right in, check the time. He clocked in at 7 o'clock. Oh, okay.
Oh, so he's taking advantage that ain't nobody being there to see what you're doing.
That's what I started to think. So now you're on my radar, whatever the case may be, because I also got another social beat that's, well, not just her, but nonetheless. So I had to check him on that. Okay, so now that you're on my radar, I got to kind of check that now. So I came in like a few days later within that week and just popped up in there. You know, left the lights off in the main area and everything. And 7:02, he came in, popped on the lights, and walked right past my desk. Kind of shocked to see me too. Walked past my window, was like, oh, he was on the phone. Cool, but you here at 7:02? Okay, boom. So that happened before this conversation. So he was like, yeah, I seen you in the hallway, and then this and that and blah 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 blah. So I just wanted to see if I'm on your radar and everything else like this. You ain't on my radar as far as the time, and I don't have an issue with you. But again, as I mentioned in the meeting, you stopping by there, that's happy. I've already seen you at her desk and get 10 times already. And if I seen you, Allison seen you.
How far into the day are we at? Well, you seen them 10 times. Is this by lunchtime? Is what, 2 hours
this
into
had
the
to be
shift?
about a good 10, 11 o'clock. So 2-3 hours into the day.
Wow.
In which me just coming in and out of my
So
office.
is he getting his work done?
Yes and no. It could be better because if you were focused on
the
your
quality
job,
of his work is not up to par.
Like I said, when it's real detailed, they are putting hundreds of stickers on bags, packing things. So yes, it's getting done. They are actually making the kits, but again, to the same extent, which I had to explain to him and HR, which now she sees.
Wait, hold on before you go into that. So with that being said, and with the story and your effective communication, do you feel like at the end of y'all's conversation and whatever that was?
Yes, because I did tell him how I felt. Mm-hmm. I did get out there like, hey, you're still over here too much. Even if still, you're going to bring down the morale. I don't want the morale of the next people to come in and feel like it's okay to keep stopping at somebody's desk just to have I don't know what y'all talking about.
And I don't even care. Look.
You know what I'm saying? Just need to stop. Like, that's too much on a personal note. And if it's about work, she's not one of your leads. So if you're asking her questions about work and checking this product or whatever the case may be,
you need to be coming to me.
You need to be going to Tina or Beth.
Gotcha.
This is our leads.
Okay.
Or you can go to me. No, it's enough.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big dog.
It ain't even that. They got the answers. I don't. Edit that out. But yeah. And I even made sure I said that, and not to be like rude about it.
Have you seen improvement since that conversation?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
As often as
so you riding that fine line.
I was actually busy doing stuff on the capper and stuff like this in my office, trying to get out the reviews and stuff. So I honestly wasn't really into that. But like, again, at the end of the conversation, yes, I feel like I communicated effectively to him. I'm checking myself to make sure I'm checking things on the spot more so than just letting it slide.
Absolutely.
Like, that's okay to a certain extent, because like I said, I like to build my case and be like, okay,
right.
just this one time. So it just won't make it seem like I'm picking on you because I just seen it. This has happened twice. This has happened 3 times. You know what I'm saying? But it's a way to address it, like I said, and more communicate effectively when it's actually happening. That's even me and the HR lady even said the same thing. Like, you just got to just, hey.
I mean, it's because it's almost like a fine line in that too. You don't want to be the nagging boss,
right,
but you also have to address the stuff accordingly.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing with people who are the offender. Like, they feel like if you're addressing it as a group, then it's not just me that's acting ugly.
Right.
So if you make a comment about socializing, that means other people must be socializing as well. True. So why I got to stop socializing? I see they still socializing.
But I am learning right now in this type of work, the type of manager you are makes all the difference in how your house is ran.
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Period.
You got an asshole manager, your team is going to
go,
start plotting on you to get you up out of there.
If I let it go, like all the shit that I just simple things. So, we let them draw on sticky. They be drawing on sticky notes and creative little notes and this and that, and making little comments and on their sticky notes and sticking them
decorate
all over
your
their
desk.
That's cool. Karthik my boss wanted to take it down for an audit, and HR was kind of like, nah, it's okay. It's kind of like personalized and this and that and boom, 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 boom. He told the person, you know what? HR said it's cool. You can put it back. They put them stickers right back up so quick and everything, right? Then all of a sudden we started seeing it on the equipment, on the capper, on the bottles, on the cylinders. Now you're marking on the cylinders. Now you're filling in you give them an inch, they take them out. Yeah. Fucking millennials.
New millennial.
New age.
New age millennials. You got to say that.
The new age millennials. But it was just kind of.
So let's move into communicating in different realms, because let's just say, for instance, you having a disagreement with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a firm believer in disagreement should not be had over text message. There comes a time where even if we get on Facebook and we're talking on Facebook, it's still better than me trying to figure out what's wrong with you through text message.
Facts.
Because that's bad business.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's just not a way to effectively, because again,
You can't
it can
tell
be
the tone.
interpreted.
Yeah,
The
you can't tell
tone
the
is
tone through a
wrong.
text at all.
Well, what did you mean by this? Don't use the wrong emoji. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Don't have a run-on sentence. You didn't put a period right here.
Yeah, so it came
if you had to
off
put a
all
comment
wrong,
right
right.
here, it would have sounded differently. You
in caps. Why you yelling? Exclamation points. Why you yelling?
Yeah. So it's just definitely. I just feel like there comes a time when you're having a disagreement or you're not on the same page with somebody that a verbal conversation of some sort is necessary.
Definitely. Verbal is always, to me, verbal is number one.
Absolutely.
Like you said, texting, no. I got to hear your tone. I love for it to be and don't even give me the line. Say I love for it to be a face to face, because my face will tell it before I say it.
Which is a lot of cases, because that's what I said earlier about body language.
Right.
Like, I feel like when you're talking to a person that's all hands crossed, you know what I'm saying, their whole stature is like
defensive.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just say the wrong thing.
Right.
Say the wrong doggone thing, because I'm sitting on ready.
Body language. I used to watch this show called Lie to Me. It came on Fox. And bruh, like just the way you scratch your nose when somebody asks you a question, or your eye might flinch, or just lip or quiver, boom, right in there, he knew you was lying. Like, your face can tell it all. So that's why I say, like, talking is very, very effective, but face to face, I can tell you some things, but again, my face will say it another way, and it's not always a good thing.
I think, like, for me, ask questions.
If you don't understand what I said.
No, it's just, yeah, well, not that you understand, depending on, every situation is different, but just make sure you're asking the right questions more so, in relaying key information.
Okay.
That's one thing with my situation when my communication wasn't effective in, my dealings or whatever the case may be. Like, again, just because if I ask you to come over and chill, don't mean I want you to stay over. We didn't communicate that effectively. That's what you were planning on doing is coming. Like, and if that's your intentions, then say that. So we could both be on the same page. Because again, like, if the shoe was on the other foot, if I was to come over to your house, would you automatically expect me to be spending the night?
She probably would, but that's why she didn't.
It depends on who she is.
True.
At the same time, but
I mean, we talk about the same one who came over your house and thought chilling meant staying the night. So if you go over her house,
well, I'm just saying, this situation, yeah.
So this is my thing, man. When it comes to like communicating in that aspect, bro, like especially when it comes to dealing with, I guess, a new female I'm dealing with. Like I've caught a female off guard before. Like, yeah, you say you just want me to come over and chill. Cool. I'm not that. I'm taking chill as chill. Like, right. Bro, I'm not.
Chill is chill. Stay is stay. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, and I'm not going to like try. Like, I'm that guy that when it comes to communicating, you got to tell me you want me to come over to fuck. Like, that's what we doing. Because otherwise, if you say, oh, just come over and chill, I'm like, okay, I'm coming over to chill. We're going to lay up. We're going to chill. and then I'm gonna leave. You gonna be like, damn, he ain't tried nothing. I'm like, nah, nigga, because you said come chill. Like that's how. Like
I'm that way as well.
When you communicate with me, like certain ways, like
so a female has to say to you effective communication. Yo, come over here and handle the business.
You got to.
That needs to be communicated.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I can catch a hint. Don't get me wrong.
Facts.
But
I can read a hint
on day one. That's not my intentions.
That's why I said with the new female.
Yeah.
Now once you know what I'm saying. Once we know each other, I know that chill might communicate.
So if she say come chill, but she takes the lead and start rubbing and touching, that kind of communication says that she won't.
Definitely got the green light. Yeah. Well, she gonna get it. Okay. But if we don't discuss that on the first visit, and you want me to come chill, bro, I don't care if it's 2:00 in the morning. I'm gonna come chill. I ain't gonna try nothing. And in the end, I win brownie points for that too. But so
you win even more brownie points when they really want it. And you still don't give it to them.
Mm. So another layer of communication to me is, I think we talked about listening, or have we talked about listening? Have we talked about listening? No, we have not talked about listening. Is listening?
Yeah.
Well, when I said listening with the intent, not listening with the intent to defend. Right. So because sometimes a person is not. Let's say, for instance, I feel like I'm a great communicator, and I'm communicating with someone who's not a great communicator. You know what I'm saying? So number one, this is going to be a struggle.
Facts.
So I have to make sure that I listen. Prime example, I was just having a conversation with someone and I said, hey, I got something for you. I can either take it to the job and you can pick it up, or I can take it to my storage unit. She said, I'll come pick it up. I'm like, okay, so just call me when you outside. Why would I call you when I'm outside? You're not going to work tomorrow? Yeah, I am. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that don't make sense for me to go back and forth. I don't understand the back and forth. What do you mean? Well, for me to come here, then go to Brookhaven and then come back to Decatur is backwards. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm going to come get the bin from the house. But that ain't an option I gave you, so I didn't even know that's what you were talking about. And so I had to continue to just be like, woosah, just listen. And this was also via text message, but it would have been easy for you to just say, I'll come get it from the house. Because my options were to take it to my storage unit or to bring it to the job for you to pick it up, because I know you're staying out that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make it easier, and you still on some option. I'll pick it up. And I'm like, okay, when you say I'll pick it up, I'm thinking you're taking the option I gave you, not I'm picking it up from the house. Like, what? So that was a thing of listening. And when people communicate, again, communication is not always about just talking. It's not always about running that hole in your face. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So you need to listen. And it's funny, the things that you'll hear when you listen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you just...
It's funny because they hear you. Because I've been in a situation where, like, hey, this is your option. Like, kind of like you. Like, if you're staying, you're rolling with me in the morning. Period. Ain't no even the buzz about it. You're not staying, like, in here or whatever the case may be without me at this point. And it's funny because I'm happy I effectively communicated that, because it was brought to me like, okay, well, I don't have to, go to work until this time, that time, or whatever the case may be. Can I not just, huh?
No, I was just saying what they got to do with me if I told you.
Right. Can I not just do this?
No,
this wasn't an option. So if you can't do this and that, then you might not, well, I didn't even say that you might not want to come. Okay, but don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Like, communicate that effectively, before they even get there, in a sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it might change the dynamic of everything. But again, you got to be willing to speak, ask questions, which I was saying. You got to be willing to ask those questions and ask those key, important questions, period. And if it doesn't sit well with you, that's something that I'm like.
Communicating, you saying. If it don't sit right,
if it don't sit well with me, if it don't sit well with my soul,
you're discussing it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta put it out there. Like, I gotta ask. Like, I'm sorry, but I do. Like, even to the situation where I had a young lady that's needed a place to hold it down for a hot second, or whatever the case may be. But like, I'm fine with you coming over, to spend the night and lay your head here. But like, what you gonna do when I'm not here? And that was my intention. Like that wasn't my plans to let you mingle in here
while I'm gone.
So,
but that's part of those tough conversations that need to be had.
Yeah.
You know what
true.
I'm saying? Like sometimes you just got to cut down to the nitty gritty, and it's sad because I'm a person that feels like I would rather you give me the cold hard truth, and I respect it, versus you lying to me or feeding me some BS and whatever, and then it's just like, bro, you just could have kept it 100.
True.
You just could have kept it 100.
True. Man, I'm probably gonna catch a lot of slack about this, but honestly, like when you say could have kept it 100, I think some of that just comes from just hurting a person's feelings, or just I don't know. Just
what are you referring to? What comes from hurting a person's feelings?
Sometimes being 100, like you said, you could have just kept it 100. Like I don't know.
But I feel like, okay, so people have a tendency to be like, okay, well, I know if I ask this person this particular question, I know they're gonna give me the honest answer.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Versus, sugarcoat shit and sending me around the bush. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just feel like that's a human emotion. Your feelings are going to be hurt.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, go through it.
You got to go through it. It builds character.
True.
You know what I'm saying? When you go through things, it makes you stronger. It makes you wiser.
Very much
but
so.
in my circle, I want a person to keep it 100 with me. Now, your delivery and what you say don't have to be fucked up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to say whatever you got to say to me in a way that's going to necessarily hurt my feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a difference between you saying something to hurt my feelings and you saying something to me that's going to sting a little bit.
Right.
Temporarily.
Yeah.
Because I know you didn't mean any ill in what you said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So those two are two different situations.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I feel like be honest in your communication. But
if it sting a little bit, it'll be all right.
Yeah, but deliver it in a way where that's
truth.
What I'm doing. I'm just being honest. I ain't putting you down. I ain't talking shit. You know what I'm saying? But this is what it is. This is how I feel. I don't have to necessarily agree with what you got going on, but I would understand it.
Another back to the listening part of communication. I don't know who knows this. I think I might have put it out there, but years ago, I had to take a class. I guess it was like a
parenting class.
No, it was like an anger management class.
Oh,
man,
yeah,
from way back when my kid's mom filed a temporary protective order on me, and they made me do some classes. And of course, initially I go into this class like, bro, I'm not angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I listen to some of these dudes tell their stories on how they beat their girl or maybe, whip their kids too hard or whatever the case may be. I'm like, bro, I don't need to be in here. You know what I'm saying? This ain't, man, like, I ain't never even put my hands on her to be in here, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But, paperwork is paperwork and whatever. So I took the class, man, but one thing I remember I remember out of that class is just, when you communicate, if you tell people can't argue with how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
So you say I feel, or when you did this, it made me feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that kind of changes the narrative of it. It's an effective method in communicating because, again, you know what I'm saying? You gonna do you, but I'm just tell you how it made me feel. You can't argue with my feelings on that. It made me feel this way when you did that. Okay, that's you.
I can't stand when people do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't understand how you feel. You don't have to understand.
Right.
Like, I'm just telling you how it made me feel.
It made me feel like, yeah. So either don't come at me like that no more, or adjust it or whatever. But that class really showed me a lot. I'm glad I listened in that class and I actually tuned in.
They say with stuff like that a lot of times when you're talking to somebody and you always use the you, you do this and you do this, and when you start turning it into like, I feel this way or whatever, it doesn't seem so much as you're placing so much blame
on somebody,
on a person.
Yeah.
I had to take a class too.
Okay.
So I figured I'd share. All
right.
And this was after I had my little fiasco with my child's mom and caught my little cruelty to infant in a second or third degree because she was holding him in our fiasco. I ended up having to take a anger management class or whatever the case may be.
It didn't work.
But I learned something. It didn't work. But I learned something. Because I had the mindset of going in there like I think maybe like you said, I don't need to learn nothing. I ain't gonna get nothing out of this class. You know, it ain't for me or whatever the case may be. Why she ain't got to take a damn class or whatever. So I think naturally I already had to, you know, I ain't telling you nothing that's going over at my house. You know, I had to fight for my custody and legitimacy of Sincere, my oldest or whatever. So, I had to take a class, and I had the mindset of I don't want to know what's going on at your mama house. You know, I ain't gonna tell you what's going on at my house. You know what I'm saying? Keep everything that's over there. You ain't, you know, I ain't got no you knew her boyfriend, all the rest of that. You know, you ain't got to tell me nothing. I ain't gonna ask you questions, and I don't really want you telling me anything that's going on over there.
This is you talking to who? Your son?
Myself. This is me. This is the thought that I had when I'm talking to him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, keep your house over there, and I'm gonna keep everything over here. You know, she ain't giving me no info. She ain't letting me see you and everything. I was just like willing to shut it down so quick. But in taking that class, I learned like, you know, kids at that age are definitely looking for an outlet. You're definitely their heroes at that young age. Nonetheless, if you have that relationship with your son or your child, they're going to want to tell you when things are not going right. If he's getting molested over there, if he's getting touched over there, you done already shut it down. That you don't want to hear anything that's coming from out of that household.
True.
He can't come tell you anything.
Yeah.
You done already let it be known. Like, don't come tell me nothing. And I literally had to like swallow that pill. Like, damn. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Can't do it like that.
Yeah,
so in your case, like you shut down communication for him on that angle.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to. That was my thought, to shut down communication.
Oh, okay.
On that angle. I don't, like, you can't tell me no. Talk to me. What's going on? If you want to. That ain't the case. But I know I've made it a point myself to make sure that he's able to tell.
There was an open line of
It was
communication.
an open line of communication coming from his way. And, hey, you can tell me anything. I'm open. I'm always here for you. You know, you want to talk about it. You know, are you okay? You know, and it's kind of hard to have that conversation like, is anybody touching you type of ordeal? But like, hey, you got to have it. You got to act.
Yeah. It's good to have open lines of communication with your children. They should feel like they can come and talk to you about, you know,
any and everything.
For sure. Yeah.
But that ain't always look, I got two of my own. And as much as I try to be open and honest with mine, to be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, if you curious about whatever, come holler at me or holler at your mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm not shutting that down. She closest to you. Holler at her if you got questions. But nowadays, I just blame technology and damn
social media.
You know,
social media is a beast. It could be your biggest influence and your worst nightmare in the same time.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But you
so
know.
it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I've tried that open line of communication, and I just kids being kids, man. Because when I was her age, I was hard headed. I was curious. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't always do it right, but you know, you try again and you do the best you can.
That's all you can do, though. There is no handbook on how to raise children. I mean, they give you insight, but I mean, all children are different. They receive things different. They process things different. So, I mean, all you can do is communicate with them the best you can, and then they'll do what they do with that information and their comfortability in talking to you about whatever they want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just got to, you know, push the bag a little bit. So what's really going on with you? What's up? Talk to me.
Yeah, I think once they honestly, like, man, I think once kids reach a certain age, it's time to have a sit down talk and just be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no sugarcoating this. Ain't no like, what's up? Especially if you go to their phone and discover some stuff. Then you already know it's time to have that talk. It's time to be. Ain't no more, hey, you're my baby girl. Hey, nah, bro. Hey, sit down. Look up. I see So you ready? Clearly, you ready to know because you looking.
I always feel like when people do things sneaky, they already know is wrong.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Unless you plan a birthday party for somebody, a surprise event, then it's definitely on some. I know I ain't supposed to be doing this. You hiding stuff,
right?
You know.
Yeah, yeah. If you up late under the cover, boy, I'm like, I be trying to give you your space, give her space, and you just, I don't know. Just don't know.
I mean, it's always different with girls too than boys because of the whole double standard. You know how how it is with
you want
that,
your boys looking, you don't want your girl looking.
You know what I'm saying? Like what? But yeah. So there's many levels to effective communication. Send a clear message in whatever it is that you have to say. You know what I'm saying? Be open minded in whatever somebody has to say to you. Make sure you are listening to understand.
You better say what you feeling
and not to defend.
There you go.
Because that's important.
You better put it out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have a mutual understanding at the end of the conversation. Sometimes, it's okay to reiterate, so just so we're clear.
Right.
This is where we are. This is what we're going to do. This is what the plan is.
Be honest with yourself.
Okay, Mr.
Alice.
Hey man, that has a lot to do with effective communication.
I mean, it is. So all of those things, honesty, being open-minded, listening, again, it's very important to listen to understand and not listen to defend. You can't expect to have a good communication, a good conversation with someone when you already coming in on 2000. You already feel like they about to say some old off the wall stuff. You know what I'm saying? You already turned up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really trying to hear nothing you say, but somebody told me to just listen. But you really ain't listening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't go in there, and if that's not where you are, then it's not time to have that conversation. And stop with all the mean messages through text message.
Yeah, man. Pick up the phone.
The phone. Clear it up. I promise you can say them 200 messages back and forth in a 10-minute conversation.
Oh, yeah. Save a whole bunch of time misunderstanding. Because that's usually what happens.
I'm a texter. I'm sorry.
You are a texter, bro. But
I feel you certain things
you are a texter when it comes to no.
The phone.
You are a texter when it comes to certain people. Because, you'll get on the phone and
still
go in.
have the conversation face to face. If it's at that point, hey, we can have this conversation face to face. Tell me how you feel.
I mean, the conversation can be had over the phone or through Facebook. What do you call it? Facebook video? FaceTime.
Facebook Messenger. It's Facebook Messenger, and then you got FaceTime file.
And FaceTime. Like, you ain't got that's face to face.
Google it.
I got to make no special trip to have no conversation with you. It ain't that deep. You don't.
Because after we argue, I'm on pussy.
Okay, well.
Hey, man.
He already know it's going to be effective communication. We're going to resolve this tonight, one way or the other.
Turn off the lights. Light a candle.
Oh, gosh. So, in conclusion, let me give y'all the quote of the week, which is in relation to communication.
Let's have it.
Effective communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity, and it starts with listening.
That's deep. You know, hand clapping. These snaps. Turn it off.
Ain't poetry, man.
Turn it off. That was poetry.
Oh, yeah.
That hit hard. That was deep. Fuck wrong with you. Clap.
Okay, let me.
One more time. Please, one more time. Turn it up. Turn the volume up. Nigga, listen. That was deep.
Effective communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity, and it starts with listening. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Be quick to listen and slow to speak.
I heard that.
Confusion and clarity.
Got any closing remarks, B?
Nah. Appreciate the opportunity to speak. Be here.
Pleasure having you, bro.
Nolo, we miss you.
This was fun. No, this not no more time. This is my time.
Okay, all right.
Highly appreciate it. Once again, from the regular, I am supporting the gear.
Thank you.
All day long. But yeah, man. Another day above dirt. Love each other. Pray. That's all I got, man.
Amen.
Take care of them kids, man.
Yeah.
Real, what you gotta fight.
I don't hang around no fuck niggas. I don't hang around people that don't take care of their kids, man.
Hey, in conclusion for me, man, effective communication. Be honest. Say what you mean, man. Be direct.
But not harsh.
But not harsh. That's all I got. Yeah.